Today's theme, as I boot up the Pixel program here, today's theme is lobster. Lobster. Today's theme is I mean, I could just make a literal lobster, I guess. That seems kind of boring. Yeah, a little pinchy lobster. I think I might even have like a lobster emote. No, I don't. Okay, I thought I did. Yeah, they both pinch. I got what you're talking about. I need to. We're gonna have to do some screen adjustments at some point, like. But so far so good. All right, so what is a good lobster? I mean, the other thing I think of when I hear lobster is like Cheddar Bay biscuits, because that's the main reason you go to Red Lobster, is for the little cheddar biscuits. They're like yay big, and they bring you a basket that's never ending, and that's why you actually go to Red Lobster. Yeah, exactly. So I guess we could do something along those lines. I don't know. What does the internet give me when I Google search lobster? Yep, that is a lobster. Nothing interesting. All right, we'll think of something here in a second. Oh, I got it. When I was a child, going back to wee little tiny TowerSlayer, one of my favorite Beanie Babies was the Lobster Beanie Baby. It was Pinchers the Lobster. That's what the internet is telling me, because this is what I remember. And Pinchers the Lobster didn't even have legs. It was just a cute little Beanie Baby. We're gonna make Pinchers the Lobster today. So that seems like as good an option as any. Pinchers was very round. It's very round. So I'm in that tool. All right, so we're gonna start getting a rough shape going here. Pinchers was a round little lobster who had a tail and then had these big flat claws, kind of like that. And you know what? I just realized we're gonna start over, because we're going to we are going to try a new tool that I need to remember how to turn on. There is a way to draw like symmetrical. That's why we have Google. All right. Horizontal symmetry tool. So if I got my pen here, Dynamics, ink. Where did I find this? I know, super interesting. There it is. All right, so it's in view and then symmetry options. Here we go. Now we have vertical symmetry. Beautiful, beautiful symmetry. All right, so now, I don't want to lose my Twitch chat there. There we go. So let's make Pinchers the Lobster. Been meaning to play around with this tool. It's pretty cool. And a fun way to kind of draw stuff. We're going to need to move this guy up if we're going to fit his claws in. Alright, so let's take another look at Mr. Pinchers here. Alright, we should be good. So, my friend Tyler has been doing musical stuff along the themes that I've been doing pixel art for, and most of them have been reasonable themes that you could maybe make music about. I'm very curious if he is doing it tonight, and if we are going to, if I'm going to get a message with a lobster themed piece of music later. I'm not sure what that would look like. Alright, there we go. So I want to clean this up a little bit. You don't want all these like weird corners. There's probably a name for it, but I'm going to call them weird corners. Alright, so we got the general shape of Pinchers the Lobster. Pinchers the Lobster had some little arcs on his tail. Kind of like that. He had these big, like, bead eyes, you know? The ones you'd expect on a Beanie Baby. There we go, that looks kind of good. It's really hard to do round with such a small thing. And then he had, like, these black, he had, like, little black antennae whisker things. They're like little strings. Something like that. And then, because he was a Beanie Baby, most of his color was very flat. So what we're going to end up doing here is, I think, let's see here. There's a replace color. It is Shift R. So if I go Shift R, and what I want is, so we're going to replace this color with the darkest red. Whoop, did not do that right. 1 second. Shift R. Alright, so what this is doing is it's taking every bit of color in this first box and turning it into the second box. And now we're just going to clean up Mr. Pinchers here a little bit. So this is looking pretty Mr. Pinchers the Lobster. We're going to need to do a few things not in symmetry mode. So we're going to turn that off. Now there are two things that make a Beanie Baby a Beanie Baby. We are going to need our little white tag. I don't remember exactly where it is, but we're going to say it was here-ish. Yeah. So he's got his little tag that had its name on it, because that was the thing, is that every Beanie Baby had a name. If you're watching this, you probably know that, but that's okay. We're going to do something a little bit lighter so it's not as obvious there. And we'll use two tones, make it look kind of like he's got something written on the tag there a little bit. And then we also need that silly heart tag. You know, the heart tag that people would put in the little plastic containers to help preserve them, because Beanie Babies were going to be the most collectible thing ever known. And to do that, I think I'm going to put it here, but I think I'm going to put it sideways. So we're going to make my life a little bit easier, we're going to rotate this counterclockwise. Nope, wrong way. Rotate canvas 180. Cool. Oh, maybe that was right the first time. No, that was right the first time. Okay. We're going to add a new layer. Now, if I remember correctly, those tags, they were hearts, and they were like white on the outside and then red on the inside with tie in them. I think. That sounds correct. So we're going to... Would have been another great use of the symmetry tool, but I don't know how to set it up for such a small area. But what we can do is we can just highlight this, Control C, Control V, and Shift H. That's going to flip it horizontally, and we have our little tag. We're going to use the same color. No reason to get too fancy there. And then we gotta decide how we're gonna do the lettering on the inside. Is that what those look like? I think so. Oh, they were lowercase letters. And they had a gold border. Oh, it's been a while since I've looked at Beanie Babies. So they actually looked a little bit like. This, they had kind of a gold border. And I'm gonna bring this Y up because it looks a little bit funny there. That looks about right. Okay. Moving in the right direction. And ironically, I think we're going to need to flip this. So we're going to rotate, not the canvas, but just this. And we're going to rotate it clockwise. Actually, probably need to do another. Yeah, that looks right. And then got the hole in there, and then there was always like this little like red like tag string thing. How do I make that look right? It doesn't look bad. Oops. Alright. And we're going to rotate this back. We want to go clockwise this time. And now we have Pinchers. Pinchers, my beloved little Beanie Baby lobster from when I was a child. Yeah. Let's for sake of making this appear a little bit better on Twitter and such, we're going to give it a little bit of a background. Nothing much, just like a little off gray, something like that. And we have Pincher's the lobster. And honestly, I could add some more like details and stuff, but I don't think it needs it because then it would look it would look a little bit like it would look too real, because a Beanie Baby is just like a flat color, right? It's all one fabric. So yeah, he's a neat little guy. He might be still in a bin in my garage. I honestly don't know. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure that I had the lobster. I maybe only wanted the lobster because I wanted the lobster and the crab. I thought they were very cool, but the crab was impossible to find. So my mom made me a homemade crab Beanie Baby out of felt and filled it with rice and let me help. And that was a long time ago. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So let's head over here. And we need to just making a quick tweet so I don't forget to do it later. Is that underscore? I think so. At Pixel Dailies. Alright. Get this guy saved. I was always wondering. I didn't actually pay attention if the save window, I guess that's considered a system window, so you guys can't see all of that. Perfect. There's now a lobster that lives on my Twitter. And that was pretty solid. That was only in about 15-20 minutes today. It was a little bit of a simpler prompt when we went with a Beanie Baby, but still fun and always good to practice.